I wanted to have this discussion, D-Mac, because I actually heard it on another network on the way in, and just how blasé, how dismissive, because people were talking about, did the and I do this weird thing where I'll give the other network credit. Like when I lift something that they're talking about, I'll give them credit for it because they came up with it.
Not vice versa. But,
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I just said. But
cough,
anyway,
cough.
though, the discussion was kind of centered around, secondary versus front. Secondary versus front. Did the Lions do enough, at the edge spot, at the defensive line spot? And, for me to, even think that would be a question, D-Mac, I couldn't understand it. But the moral of the story is what I'm driving at is there was kind of a dismissiveness about James Houston. And yesterday, Flannel and I got into the Aiden Hutchinson story. Oh, check this out, by the way, where Flannel Sam said, I need a little more from Hutchinson. And the people in the chat were like, yeah, we do. And I was like, what just happened here?
Yeah.
But anyway, D-Mac, I digress.
It's about the messenger.
The kind of passive nature that everybody had towards James Houston, as if he just found a lottery ticket that first year and put up the numbers he put up. D-Mac, number one, I was shocked. Number two, I was stunned. And number three, I was dumbfounded. People, I want people in stone right now.
So how do you view James Houston? Do you view him as an integral part of this defense, or do you view him because of we know the capability and the ability that he's shown, but last year you have to admit sophomore slump, whatever injuries and stuff like this. To me, James Houston is a bonus piece. Right, I hope, and I think with his ability he can be there, but he's not one of the guys I'm more counting on.
I am.
So there you go. If you have him in stone as one of your starters or one of the guys that's going to be impactful, then your thought process and your thought line is on point, right?
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
But I don't think. But I'm waiting to see, right? He's got to prove himself. To me, he doesn't have a spot. He's got to earn a spot.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that his potential, if he's healthy, he can do that. And if they figure out how to use him again, like they did at the beginning, the Hutch thing is, it's a group thing. They got to help each other like all the other great teams does. I think DJ Reader and the middle and the way that we've progressed will help Hutch because he's only going to get better. But, I think that the comment that if I was going to make Flannel's comment, it was I need to see more from the defensive line, including the outside line, but the inside. The defensive line, I need more.
Yeah.
And that's fair, but it's more of a group effort than it is one guy.
What you got, KG?
And just when he's not injured, he's always been a specialist. He comes in on third down, passing downs, and wreaks havoc. Now, I'm not limiting him to that, but so far that's how they have used him.
No doubt. Yeah, I'm definitely on board. See, I think here's where I think there might be a disconnect with that.
Okay.
Is because I almost equate the specialist edge rusher to the closer position in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Where there is one specific role, and that is it.
Yeah.
And when he plays, he's elite at it.
Yeah.
You can't deny that.
That's true.
And that's, I just wonder where the disconnect came with James Houston.
To be fair, yes, what he did in that first season was absolutely amazing, especially in half a season because he wasn't even with the team the first half of the season.
Right.
For him to do that in that many games was absolutely ridiculous. Now, he gets injured. He's pretty much a no-show for most of the year. He got in about, I want to say, 3 to 4 games towards the end. I know we saw him a little bit in the playoffs. And he didn't necessarily look like he had the same burst. Now, they may not have used him as much as they were doing before because they were trying to ease him back into the process. But the fact of the matter is, we need to see if he can replicate what he did in that year one and if he does have that same kind of burst and bend to his game because that's a big part of his game. Getting off that ball and getting to the quarterback, that's a big part of his game. So we just need to see it. I don't think people are being dismissive, but like you always say, we're kind of relying on a health parlay at the defensive end position opposite Hutch. You got Marcus Davenport, which I think absolutely is an addition, but the guy played 4 games last year, and he has a riddled injury history. We need to see if he's going to stay healthy. James Houston, he had that major injury. We need to see it. Josh Pascal, he's been known to be injured as well. The guy had foot cancer. So, these things we need to see in stone whether he's going to come back and be the same player.
And see, here's where this comment kind of backs up what I'm talking about, where I don't think people understand what I'm driving at here. Like, he is a specialist, okay? And then I get comments from Steve O'Baby that says, James Houston had 0 sacks and no interceptions. Like, he's never going to get an interception, man.
That's rare.
That's
For Hutch to have 3 is rare.
That's what I'm talking about, because that tells me there's a disconnect with reality.
Well, out of sight, out of mind. That's
I know that.
how America is. Unfortunately, I don't agree with it, but.
And then Steve O'Baby, I would tell him, career 9 games, 8 sacks. That's what it is. You can tell me what you think. I'm telling you what I know.
Yeah.
That's what I know. It's there. It's there. And for me, I just think people are being way dismissive.
No, but look at the trend. If you're going to say that, right, 9 and 8, 8 sacks in 9 games, but he's trending cold.
Yeah.
We need to see
but no sacks last year and however many games he played.
And whether the injured, can he come back after getting healthy and stuff, because he is a specialist and you need that, and you only want James Houston coming on in 3rd downs or whenever it's a pressure situation, because that means you're utilizing him to the best of the ability, and that's where he's going to get the sacks. Now, I get it, because if you look at them trending to last year, but you can say that's on injuries. Let's just see if he's healthy, and let's wait and hear. Remember when we opened the show and you're talking about under 100 days, the Lions are getting excited. We're getting nuggets out of reports out of here and there. We'll get a report on James Houston sooner than later.
And to your point, Neil, I think the Lions believe your philosophy that he can replicate that, because besides Marcus Davenport, they didn't really make any additions at defensive end. So I know they're working out Mekhi Wingo kind of at the DN spot, so maybe he'll do spot duty there. And, of course, Matthew Betts, the Canadian legend that we all love to praise. But I think they're relying on James Houston to come back and have that same type of effect as well.
And here's Flannel from wherever Flannel is intaking the show right
now. Is he on vacation?
No, he was here.
No, he was here this morning.
No, I know, but now isn't vacation started for him? Right? He's on vacation. Flannel, give it up.
Give it up.
Neil would give anything for James Houston to lead the Lions in sack next season.
But if he did, how good's your defense?
A lot better.
Thank you.
A lot better.
But what I'm saying is we have seen that capability. We don't have to wonder about it.
But
that's where I'm cut a little different than
we've also
else.
Seen Torque hit 30 homers, and look how that's happening.
Right, absolutely. So how does he bounce back? Right? How does he bounce back?
Yeah.
It's in there. And that's why, for me, KG, with the whole Torque thing, I cut him the most slack out of anybody.
Yeah.
Because I've seen him do it before.
True.
The Parker Meadows and those guys that, are out there hitting 090, and that's what they've been.
Mm-hmm.
That's different for me.
I've
seen Torque do it before.
I've
seen James.
But we do need to see it again. I think it's fair to say that.
Of course we do, yeah. And it's now.
Yeah.
Make no mistake about it. It's now.
Yeah.
And that is 100% fair. But for Catspot to say he's not an elite pass rusher, the production suggests otherwise.
Yeah.
The facts suggest otherwise. Because, D-Mac, we saw that man, the bend, right? The bend, that's what everybody talked about, the side bend that he has. He is an elite pass rusher. He has elite pass rushing skills.
Yeah.
It's the only tool he's got in the tool bag, but it's a hell of a hammer he has
in there. It is.
When
When it's working, yes.
It's
absolutely.
a hell of a hammer he has, D-Mac. So people are just being way dismissive about this guy, I think. I do.
No, it's out of sight, out of mind. Right? Because what have you done for me lately?
Mm-hmm.
And coming off, if you're going to question, you have to see it. Now, yes.
Yeah,
he has the ability. I believe also, too, reading the room, that the Lions believe that, too, by the moves that they made. They're going to give him all the opportunity to be successful.
Yeah.
But you only want him coming off on 3rd downs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what he is.
Right. That's all you want. And you want him healthy to be able to do that.
Maybe that's part of it, I guess, is that he's a specialist and people don't comprehend that, because I see people being critical that he doesn't have any interceptions.
Well, that's just crazy. But
Power Neck's beside himself
Yeah,
over there
that's
right now.
crazy. But
Beside himself.
we're not going to feed into that. But, I mean, you would hope with a full training camp because he's never, I don't think, maybe besides his first year, had a full training camp with the defense. He has new coaches, Terrell Williams. I feel like that he can replicate that. But, like I said, it's just a matter of we got to see it. We got to see it on the field.
Neil would give anything for James Houston to lead the Lions in sacks. Now, could you even imagine? What if he rolled out and had like 18?
Well, somebody brought it up.
Stop it.
Somebody brought it up. Is then the Lions probably lead the NFL in sacks then, if that's the case.
Mm-hmm.
So take them for what it is. Who cares as long as they get them?
Yeah, I don't care where they come from.
That's my point. It's accumulated team.
And to add to that, we don't really expect, like, yes, what he did in 2022 was great, but I'm not expecting him to have 8 sacks in 9 games again. If he can get 4 to 5 sacks for the whole season, I'm happy.
There's a great point brought up in the chat, and I apologize you brought it up, right? The coverage sack this year might be even more with the corners that we have in the press. So you need guys with those motors and stuff like that. So it's not even around the edge, but it's being healthy, stuff like that with that extra, like 1 extra second or stuff like that. That's what you're looking for. I think that to be able to fill gaps and not over pursue and stuff like that. So the coverage sack somebody brought up, I believe that we're better in the secondary. That gives these guys more of an opportunity.
And D-Mac, before you tell them about Lady Jane's, I'll say this. Flannel, you should want James Houston to lead the team in sacks because then you can talk to me about pressures. You can take credit for it. You all can give Hutch credit for it. It's the pressures.